Nash, and I'm running the risk of my microphone not staying charged. Place. Perfect. So we're out here. We're going to start working on what we call counter conditioning. Good. Triggers. So triggers are anything that cause your dog to be excited. Let's see. Hopefully we've got. I don't have my cameraman today. He's sick with the flu, unfortunately. So looks like Nash needs to brush up on place just a little bit. So anything. One of the main topics of alumni training, so dogs who've already completed the partner program, we need to make sure that we're still generalizing and proofing their behaviors out and about. So we want to make sure that something he does really phenomenally at home with little to no distractions still happens when there's other things happening. So what I want to try to do, good, is pair the moment he kind of goes, ooh, that's something, with food for me. And we're basically classically conditioning triggers with food from me. And the idea is that we do this enough times that the dog starts to create an operant response of seeing the trigger and looking at us. The other thing, so that's one thing that we're rewarding him for right now. So he says, oh, that's something, and I feed him. Oh, that's something, and I feed him. Oh, that's something. Oops. Good. You missed your shot on that one, buddy. The other thing you have to kind of be good at, and that's why we practice this until we've got lots of, muscle memory. So he's really good at place now, and I'm really good at place now, and now we're taking it on the road. I want to make sure that I kind of am aware of good. I want to be aware of how intense these triggers are. So as things get harder, so maybe the person is more exciting, or the person's getting really close, or the person starts talking, I may need to either put a little bit more pressure on him or use a little bit more of my food lure to kind of distract him. So I want to give him space to make these good choices on his own, but I might need to kind of step in a little bit to help him if it gets tough. Good. So the other thing that I'm looking to reinforce him for is, I'm sure everyone thinks I'm talking to myself out here, settling on place. So he's learned in the studio that getting in a position, there we go, of calm is reinforcing. He gets rewarded or released from place faster if he goes from standing to sitting, sitting to laying down. He's kind of in more like a Sphinx style down. He does have his hip kicked out just a little bit, but if he were to, he's starting to kind of shift. So we call this posture facilitated relaxation. And the idea is that if the body is in a position of calm, the mind is more likely to follow. So we really encourage the dogs to assume these physical positions on place. And what it actually ends up doing is teaching the dog how to self-regulate. So we can actually almost get it on cue. If you are really good at timing and reinforcing settling, your dog will offer calm behavior and settling good on their own, which is really great. So that's one thing I'm rewarding for. If I see him settling, I'm going to reinforce him when he does that. And I'm also doing counter conditioning with triggers. So at this point, now that he's like laying down on place, I can assume that he's going to handle triggers a lot better and easier. So unless it's a very intense trigger, I can actually raise my criteria a little bit. I might stop feeding him every time he notices somebody and expect him to offer that counter good, and only feed him when he offers operant conditioning. How's it going? Good boy. Oh, so right there where he kind of stands up, I can go like, oh, bummer, and kind of withhold the treat and see if he, understands like, So when I see him doing that, I can kind of say like, he understands like, so elevating and getting excited. Man, you missed out. Relaxing. I think he tried to relax there, but he kind of was on the edge of the bed. Good boy. And we definitely want the dog to have that, I call it the where's the beef mentality. So if he misses the opportunity to earn a piece of food where he thinks he should have, I want the dog to be like, well, why didn't I get it that time? And I want to see like the dog kind of putting that together. Good boy. Oh my gosh, there's this tiny little chihuahua in the distance. I don't know if it's getting out of the car or not. So if there were to be a dog distraction, I would assume that would be a pretty heavy distraction, and I would most likely kind of get on his level. The one thing and I don't know if we'll have the opportunity to see this happen today in this training exercise, but if if a trigger gets really intense, like somebody just walks right up and they're going to pet your dog whether you like it or not, or they just kind of get into your bubble, or a dog comes up, it's important to you know and it's hard because you're in the moment, and if you don't have a lot of practice doing it, it definitely doesn't go the right way the first few times, but you want to try the best you can to make sure that your leash is loose as much as possible. If your dog lunges, you can obviously, they're putting pressure on themselves, and you can reel them in and release the pressure once they're with you. So I don't know if I'll have the opportunity to kind of demonstrate that, because he does have the tendency to kind of just get walk over to things. But we definitely want to make sure that we're not using the leash to hold him back from things that's definitely not how we want to do that. Perfect.
You're not a little spoiled, are they?
Good boy.
Are you a good boy?
Nice.
Are you a good boy? Aww.
Perfect.
Aww.
Good. So I'm going to kind of help him out, see if I can. Yeah, good boy.
Thank you.
Good boy. Nice. So it'll be interesting. I'm pretty sure. I'll have to look back and make sure. But that leash should have been loose that whole time. So even though that was a really intense distraction, I want to make sure that that leash is loose as long as he's correct. Because as soon as we tighten it up, that's telling him he needs to change or fix something, or that he's incorrect. And it can actually add frustration. It can add, it can add a little bit more intensity to the situation than it already is. So being aware of your leash pressure is really important. Nice. Good boy. Good. Nice. And I can already see that he understands this game really well, and he's looking at distractions and then like eagerly, fervently looking at me like, I did it. I looked at the thing and I looked at you. Now pay me. And that's that where's the beef mentality that we're looking for. So when I see that, and I see an opportunity where the distraction isn't going to be too intense, I might start to raise the criteria for what I feed him now. So now I'm not going to feed you every time you look at something distracting and look at me. I'm going to mark it for sure. Ooh, I thought he was going to settle there. I would definitely pay him for that. But I might feed him for settling. I might kind of make sure that he's like settling a little bit. Good. So that one I will feed him for. He is a baby. He's a big baby.
Big baby.
He is.
She says I get a treat coming down with that.
That's right. Good job, buddy. Do you want to say hi? Okay. You want to say hi? Good boy, Nasho. Good job. What a good boy.
Pretty good idea.
Good boy. Nice. So we'll let these last couple people go by, and then we'll probably call it good. That was very good. Good boy. Nice. Yeah. Does she smell good? Oh, thank you. Good. Oh, you're not going to get paid for that. Sorry. All right. Okay. Good job. Oh, there's a cart coming. Don't eat that. Oh, no, no, no. Don't eat that. Ugh. No, thank you. Nope, we're not going to eat that. No, thanks. Hi there. Good boy. What is that? Is that a cart? I think he's a little worried about the cart.
Okay. You can smell my dog.
Good job, buddy.
You say hi. Okay. Go good. Yeah.
Good.
Go good.
Good boy. Good job, buddy. Good job. You did that really good. That was actually, oh, am I still recording? Perfect. That was tough because I think he was a little worried about the cart. And his breed in general, when there's a little element of like, ooh, I don't know, it can go really south. And so a part of me was a little bit not loving that interaction. I would have really loved to have been like, hey, no, thank you. So that was a good exercise for me to kind of actually have a little bit better putting up some boundaries. Sometimes I also struggle with that. So there's always something that we can work on, right? Good boy. Sometimes I feel self-conscious talking to myself as people walk by and they don't necessarily see that the camera's set up anyway. So yeah, I would have really loved to have been like, hey, no thanks for training, because he was worried about that cart. I didn't want that to translate to him being uncomfortable saying hello to that guy. So I did notice some hesitancy with him greeting that gentleman, and it didn't have anything to do with him in particular. I think it was his cart. So yeah, I wanted to make sure that while he was saying hi, I had a nice loose leash, and I was really trying to kind of quickly turn him around. So turning his body around was my number one like criteria in that moment. But that went really well. He handled that well. He overcame his worriedness about that particular situation. Good boy. Yeah. Good boy. Good boy. Nash, don't eat the salt, baby. Good boy. Nice job. No, there's a dog barking at you. Good boy. Good. Place. Good. Hi there.
He's going to have you trained.
I'm sorry?
He's going to have you trained.
That's
pretty well.
right. Yeah, he's got me wrapped around his paw for sure.
Hey,
You say hi? Good boy. Hope you like slobber.
how old?
I think Nash is about 7 to 8 months old.
Jesus.
Yes, he's a big baby. Good boy. Good job.
I know.
Good boy.
You are such a sucker.
I am. They get me.
Not you.
Oh. Good boy. Good job. What do you think? We're going to hit the road? Have a good day. All right, buddy. Come on.